if you ask me to have a 6-month view, you can own duration from any time now in the US. And again, the only reason you need to like duration here is that you believe that disinflation is going to continue. And all of the data that you've seen, pre-CPI and even including CPI, it should give, watchers like the Fed a lot of comfort around what is especially happening to the core side of things. But in terms of, if you're having a shorter term time horizon, could we go above 4 in the near term? Sure, we can. But bear in mind that relative to even a year ago, your yields are much higher now. And so your break evens, if yields move against you by owning duration right now, are, you've got more cushion to work with. But for me, I actually like the front end of the US more. And I know that's controversial because the Fed has signaled that they're going to be at high rates for a very long time because the economy is still running too hot, labor market's still too tight. But it's rarely the case that what the Fed thinks they're going to do, especially if they're giving you long guidance, is what they end up doing in the future. So are they going to be able to hold over 5% interest rates in the US for 2 years? I don't think so. Do I think 2-year treasuries are cheap here? I absolutely do.
Why do you think they're not going to be able to hold, Amy?
Because the turns in the cycles always catch us by surprise, even the central banks. And that's to the upside as well as the downside. You've only got to look at the changes that happened after the initial COVID shock to know how strong the forces of animal spirits can be when they're unleashed to the upside. And the same thing with the downside. Recessions are always preceded by a period where unemployment is glued to the floor. But that changes very quickly. And it's very non-linear.
You're telling us that you see a recession as inevitable?
No. Yep. I mean, there's a lot of data out there that suggests that the US economy is carrying on stronger for longer. And that may well be the case. Recession can be delayed because of all the events that have happened in this cycle, especially all the stimulus that the major economies have gotten post the COVID pandemic. That will buy you time. It won't help you to avoid a recession, in my view.